Strength is a word that people use like it's a badge of honor. They say it with admiration. You are so strong. Or, you always handle things. But the kind of strength we're talking about today isn't the glossy or the sparkly motivational kind. It's the quiet version. The version that shows up because life just doesn't give you an option. I'm talking about the kind of strength that keeps the household steady while everything feels chaotic. Strength that absorbs other people's emotions so that it doesn't spill everywhere. Strength that keeps you moving, even when your body is whispering that it's tired. But I want to stress that this kind of strength has a cost. I've lived in that space much of my life due to life circumstances. And if I had $1 for every single time I've been told, Mel, you're the strongest person I know, well, I'd be a very wealthy woman. Often when people say that to me, I smile because that's what you do when people see you that way. But inside, like all those other strong people out there like me, I often feel the weight of it. I have often thought to myself, if you only knew how much I'm holding. Though I don't easily share that with others. Strong people often keep the daily struggles to themselves. It's in an effort to take care of others, and to the untrained eye, the behind-the-scenes cost is not really obvious. So today, we're going to talk about that version of strength. That's the one that's living and breathing on the inside. Strength that is quickly lent out and helps everyone else, but quietly drains your own energy. The kind of strength that often makes health goals feel heavier than they look on paper. Because when you're the strong one, your health journey isn't just about habits. It's about the emotional load that you carry before you even begin. Welcome to episode 65 of Making Mel Health in the Hustle. This podcast is a place where motherhood meets muscle, ambition meets exhaustion, and figuring out how to prioritize my health journey into the insanely beautiful chaos of a busy life is what I talk about. Some days it'll look messy and other days flawless. But no matter what kind of day I'm having, I can assure you, I will tell the truth and do my best to give you some good ideas and insight to help you prioritize your own journey. Most people start their health journey with a little bit of excitement and a little bit of fear. Strong people begin it with a full plate. Strong people automatically carry an emotional load with everything else. The quiet work of holding up the people around them while anticipating needs and smoothing out tension before it becomes conflict. There's the mental load, the constant decision-making, the planning, the remembering. Like, did I send that email? Did that message get sent? Did I reach out to that person? Wait, you mean it's Saturday already? That stuff is always running in the background like an app that you just can't close. And then there's the pressure, the unspoken expectation that you stay composed and positive even when you're feeling stretched really thin. All of those things can drain the same energy that you need for your health. Focus on your meals, your workouts, your sleep, and even your sanity can feel impossible at times. Those of us standing strong at the end of the day often sacrifice ourselves to make everything else work for everyone else. When we try to start a new routine, everything can be completely lined up. The plan, the intention, the desire to feel better, but tiredness can attack us from the inside. Not physically, but emotionally. It can feel like you're trying to build something on top of a foundation that's already cracked. And that's the part that people don't see. Strong people carry weight that doesn't show up on the outside. It shows up in their sleep, or cravings or motivation. It shows up in the way that you start a goal already feeling like you're behind. And that isn't weakness. That's about capacity. And capacity is shaped by the load that you carry long before you ever step into a gym or pay attention to what's on your plate. People who carry a lot are absolutely incredible at showing up for others. Being strong often means being the one who listens, pays attention to the needs of others, and holds space. Strong people make sure everyone else is okay. But here's the kick. When it comes up to showing up for ourselves, see, that's where things get complicated. Strong people often feel some kind of way when they try to prioritize their own needs. It's like breathing. It can feel like you're taking something away from others or like you're disrupting the balance. And that's not intentional. It just happens. Being strong and then focusing on yourself can feel like you're stepping out of the role that people rely on you to play. And worry sets in almost immediately that others will not be all right. If there's one thing I know, it's living with that tension all the time. There are many seasons where I placed my own health on the back burner because someone else needed something. And quite frankly, I was not in a position to say, I can't do it right now because no one else was available to help. Strong people often live in solitude. Again, not intentionally. But they can get so focused on doing for others that they don't realize how far they drift away from people until they're all by themselves. Strong people can be an anchor for others without ever putting out a tether for themselves. Building others may be what they do, or it may be their version of comfort food, but they lose sight of where they end up sometimes. And that is why carving out time and focusing on their own goals has to be a priority. Now, if you are one of my strong caregiving friends and you're listening right now, and you felt that tug of war inside yourself, I want you to hear this. Your needs are not competing with anyone else's, and prioritizing your health isn't selfish. You are allowed to take care of yourself without apologizing for it. And if you don't, then you're never going to be able to give people your best because you won't have it to give. The strongest thing you can do is prioritize you. One of Coach Val's favorite mantras is, you come first right after me. And this is one we've got to live by, my strong friends. Fill your own cup, and then you'll be able to give strongly to everyone else. See, there's a myth that strong people can handle anything. And let me tell you, that is so not true. Now, strong people can handle a lot, but strength doesn't make you limitless. It makes you adaptable. And guess what adaptability needs? It needs boundaries. When you push through instead of pausing, your body takes that impact. If you carry stress instead of releasing it, your physiology shifts. When you stay functional, even when you're depleted, your health can become the quiet casualty. These facts have nothing to do with motivation or anything else. It's straight biology. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, and that is your body's survival system. It is your stay alert hormone. You need it when you're in survival mode. But when cortisol stays too high for too long, it disrupts your sleep, along with a whole host of other impacts on the body. Poor sleep and high cortisol impacts cravings, metabolism, and emotional regulation. Cortisol can create the perfect storm to make your health goals feel even heavier. And not necessarily because you're feeling the stress, but because your system gets overloaded. I have had so many moments where my body spoke before my mind did. Moments where I was moving through my day like everything was just fine, but inside, I felt hollow and empty. There have been days when I was doing all the things but feeling nothing. Survival mode is a very unpleasant place to be. And here's the thing, strong people don't fall apart dramatically. They fade away, piece by piece, quietly, just like a river carving a path through rocks. And their bodies whisper long before their mind is ready. So focusing in on what your body needs to be strong, resilient, and nourished is essential to continuing. Strength can become a role. It's like a costume you slip into because people expect it. And once you're in that role, oh boy, it is really, really hard to step out of it. Because you've become the responsible, dependable one, the one who remains steady and doesn't crack no matter what's coming along. But the truth is that taking on the role of Atlas and carrying the entire world on your back can be really heavy. And it doesn't leave much room for your own gym bag or your own needs. When strong people land in this space where we do not leave room for our own needs, we end up performing strength instead of living it. That can be a really difficult balancing act. When you're holding everything together but feel stretched thin, being honest with yourself is a necessity. Lots of times we perform strength because we think we have to, not because it's good for us, because it isn't. If you've ever felt that, I want you to know something. You do not have to earn setting down strength and embracing softness to prove that you're worthy of rest. You don't have to carry everything and everyone to be valuable. Sometimes the strongest thing that you can do is stop the performance of being fine. Strong people don't need more discipline. They need a plan that fits a high-load life, goals that adjust to emotional capacity with recovery built into the routine, and permission to rest without guilt. Strong people need support, even if asking for it feels uncomfortable. And it's okay to make goals smaller and more realistic for whatever season you're in. To maintain your health, sometimes you might need to trade a bigger goal for a smaller one. Not because you lack strength for the bigger goal, but because you need to lessen the pressure so you can be successful while honoring the load that you have to carry right now. If your health goals feel heavy, I want you to consider something. Maybe it's that goal is not too big. Maybe the goal is too big to accomplish with the rest of the load that you're carrying. Setting limits is key to meeting your goals. Look, even Superman had limits. Recognize your kryptonite. And that's where the shift can begin. Once you recognize that a goal is not just about what you want to accomplish, but about capacity, you can stop treating resilience like a test of how much you can endure and take on what is manageable. The real work is learning how to respond to the load that you're carrying with wisdom instead of more pressure. Because resilience is not simply pushing harder. Sometimes resilience is knowing when to pull back, reset, and choose a different kind of strength. Resilience isn't about pushing through everything like a steamroller. It's about knowing when to push and when to pause. And there are many different kinds of resilience. There's protective resilience, where we stay strong to shield others. There's performative resilience, and that's being strong because people expect it. There is survival resilience, staying strong because you just don't know another way. And transformational resilience, staying strong, but also learning to soften, rest, and rebuild. And transformational resilience is what strong people need more of. It's about learning to pause, asking for help, and learning to rest, all of the things that do not come naturally. Because strength isn't the absence of vulnerability. Strength is knowing when to stop carrying everything all by yourself. Before we wrap up, I want to say something to all of my strong friends and the part of you that's bone tired. Tell the part of you that keeps going and handling everything to just quiet down for a minute and listen. I want you to focus for a moment on that soft underbelly that's underneath all of that strength. You know, the part that you don't show very often. And I want that part to listen. You don't have to carry the whole world to be worthy of taking care of yourself. And you don't have to be the strong one every single minute of every single day. Don't wait until things calm down to start caring about your health, because the cost of that is just way too much. You have limits. As a human being, you have limits. And you are allowed to set limits in your life because you're not a machine with endless capacity. You are flesh, blood, and bone with a beating heart and all of the same pain and vulnerability that everybody else has. And that all needs care and focus. And if no one's told you this lately, let me be the one who does. You have permission to put things down. You're allowed to rest without explaining why to anyone. Taking care of your body and your mind has to come first, even when other people need things from you. You deserve to be supported, not just be supportive. Your strength is not measured by how much you can carry, and it's okay to say, I just can't carry all this by myself. So as you move into the rest of your day, I want you to check in with yourself. Not with the version of you who pushes through and performs strength, but the part of you that's real and feels things and deserves care. Ask that part of you what it needs and what would feel lighter. Focus in on where you're holding too much and listen to yourself. That's where health begins. Not with some perfect plan or big goal, but with the honest moments with yourself when you stop pretending you're fine and start supporting yourself the way that you support everyone else. You don't have to be strong alone. Not here. Not anymore. Until next time, onward and upward, my friends.